Hi, this is Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning in to My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Today we're at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California for the fabulous Fords Forever show. There are nearly 2,000 Fords here of all types, but they're not here for long. This renowned one-day show starts at 10 and it's over at 3. Hey, typical California. These people got places to go and things to see. Joining me now is Harold Allen from Ford Communications. Harold, what a show. There's Fords everywhere.
Thank God, we love them. We love them, absolutely, every one of them.
Well, quite an event. This is a one-day event, yet you draw 2,000 cars and you draw them from far and wide.
Well, you gotta understand that the excitement of these cars brought when they were originally brought out is pretty powerful. And even though the Thunderbird went away a couple years ago, there's more excitement and more people buy our little small toy Ford Thunderbirds than anything in the catalog, if you can imagine, that new concept bird.
Well, and it's here. I mean, this is
standing right over there.
I can't wait. And you've got one of every Thunderbird here. You're kind of celebrating, T-Bird. It's a what, 45th
anniversary of Thunderbird. We have one from every single year out here. My own Thunderbird's just behind us here. Model T's, 91st. This is the largest showing of T's we've seen out in the show for a long time.
Yeah, some really stunning specimens.
We've got some great people, great clubs, which spend a lot of time and effort. They basically do the whole thing.
Well, and what a wonderful site, too. Knott's Berry Farm. I mean, this is a whole family event.
Knott's just was purchased by Cedar Fair, and they're outstanding people. They've really done a great job. They've built the new roller coaster. They remodeled the park.
Yeah, that's calling out to me. I think after the show, I got to...
It'll do you in. The water slide they're building down on the other end. So Knott's is, in fact, they have an attendance increase this year, which most parks did not. So it's very interesting.
Well, you know, I got to get around and see some of these fabulous Fords. I understand that one of those birds is yours.
Absolutely, and you better make sure that's on TV.
We'll see what we can do, Harold. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.
At the 15th annual Fabulous Fords Forever show, all types of vehicles are invited, with one stipulation. You guessed it, it has to be a Ford. There was every type of Ford imaginable present at this show. Model T's, Thunderbirds new and old, Mercs, and even some very modified creations, like this monster Ronster purple Mustang.
So you call it the Ronster, right?
That's right, this is the Ronster.
Ron, this is beautiful. When I think of a California Mustang, I think of one that's been, tweaked and poked and modified a bit. This one's been done more than a bit. It's gorgeous.
Well, thank you. We tweaked and poked it quite a bit.
You started with a 65?
65 Mustang Coupe. It was actually a car that we bought out of Pick and Pull. Scrapyard.
So it was going to be crushed.
It was
you
ready
saved
to go to
the Mustang.
Exactly. We did not destroy one, we saved
it.
And this car, Ben Smith, who is the designer of the Ford retractables, the 57 and 59 retractables, he also designed and built a 66 Mustang. Ford killed the idea.
Never made it to production.
Never made it to production. When Ben retired in 1990, he built a retractable for himself, and we met him in 1994. And one of the kits that he used to strengthen the underbody, we used on this.
So then you could cut the top off. Then you built the Roadster kit here?
The Roadster kit was actually built on the car first, and then we took it down to a fiberglass shop and had them make a mold, and then we had to break it off the car and build another, put the tonneau cover on.
It's just gorgeous, a beautiful mix of new and old. I love the interior, and it looks real serious. You know, digital gauges, a mega stereo in there.
We like to think this is one of the first Roadster type Mustangs that were built.
Well, now I see you're sporting a 5.0, so it's not the conventional engine either.
It'll get down the road pretty good.
I bet it will.
It's got a little 95 5.0 that Ford built for us, aluminum heads and the GT40 intake.
It is just gorgeous. Well, Ron, you did a good job on the Ronster.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, man. Sandra, this thing stopped me in my tracks. 56 Crown Vic with a glass top. This is gorgeous, and it's yours.
Yes, thank you.
You must be very happy.
I am. It was a dream. It was a dream come true. I dreamed about this car for years, and finally got it.
Beautiful. I've always loved these cars. The lines, and this car's got an awful lot of options on it. I mean, starting back here with the Continental kit, and the chrome on it's beautiful too. Who restored this?
My husband restored it.
He does great work. But these, the swept lines, of course, the chrome over the top, that was Crown Vic, but glass top wasn't that common. How many?
Just a little over 600 were made.
Many. Well, it gives you that skylight that illuminates this fabulous interior, and I imagine that's all been restored too.
Yes, it has.
And the color combination, I mean, it's you, it really is.
Thank you.
Well, I also noticed the T-Bird badging. This has got the T-Bird engine, right?
Yes.
Can we open it up? Does it look as nice under the hood?
I think so.
Well, this is kind of heavy. I'll give you a hand too.
Okay.
Oh, well, you're right. It's beautiful. This is like it rolled off the showroom. And your husband did all this?
Yes.
Wow, he does fabulous. How long did it take?
About a year and a half.
He works quick too. Now you just, I mean, you take it to local shows. It doesn't get driven very much.
Well,
I can't
no,
imagine.
just on city streets. I don't drive it on the freeway.
No, I can imagine. But it is, and it's got to be a hit wherever it goes. People have to love this car.
Well, they say very nice things about it anyway.
As well they should. Well, Sandra, you have a beautiful, beautiful piece of history here, and I've never seen a prettier one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It is just stunning.
Well, as you can see for yourself, this was a day made for fans of the Big Blue. Along with the stunning collection of cars, there were many terrific trucks on hand. One future classic was this Ford Excursion, converted to a mobile operations for urban terrain vehicle. Wow! And before there were SUVs, there was the Bronco.
Well, Mike, this is a tough-looking little truck here.
Yeah, it's real tough.
Real tough.
It's real tough.
Now, this is what? It's a 70.
1970.
These things have become very popular. I can't believe how many Broncos are here today.
Yeah, there's 80 some odd Broncos.
Is that
today.
right?
Yeah.
Man. Well, now you weren't a long-time Bronco guy, and you haven't had this that long, right?
No,
Like-
not at all. Probably 8-9 months.
How'd you get into it?
I met some really good friends through our children from church. They had a couple. They each had Broncos.
They said
Then I met a couple more friends that
They
of
had
theirs.
Broncos?
They had Broncos.
so. They said you need a Bronco, man.
And so we looked for 2-3 months. Me and my friend John Noble over there, and we found this Bronco.
Was it in this shape? Was this nice?
No,
not even close. Right?
It was kind of on the ugly side.
Yeah?
And it needed a paint job, and it needed rims and tires. It needed seats. It needed a carpet kit.
It needed it all.
It needed paint. Yeah, yeah.
So what did you say?
A top.
Said what? 9 months and $9,000 later?
Yeah.
It looks like this. $9,000 a month. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it is cool. It's got some really nice tricks on it too. This was a 302 engine.
Yeah, it's 302. It's balanced and blueprinted.
Runs pretty strong, I imagine.
It runs real strong.
Yeah, I mean,
stays real cool. Some of them run hot. Mine stays about 170, which is real cool.
It's got some good-looking stuff on it. So you take it on and you bounce around in it and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this is no show truck. This is a.
No, if you're gonna build it and it's gonna be a Bronco, you should take it out in the dirt.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, Mike, it's one trick truck. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much.
Keep climbing.
Thanks. I will.
In the mid-60s, before the birth of the production muscle cars, you had to special order a standard vehicle with a little extra kick. One such monster was the 1964 Plymouth Belvedere with a 426 race Hemi. These rare cars struck fear into the hearts of the street and strip racers who faced them. The stripped-down Belvedere was meant to do one thing: go very fast in a straight line.
Well, today we're at Allenbury Resort Inn, just outside Carlisle, Pennsylvania, with Steve Mosier. Steve,
Nice to see you, Dennis.
Welcome to the show. And his absolutely bad-to-the-bone 64 Belvedere 426 Hemi.
It's a bad to the bone car to me also.
Now, this is a replica of an actual factory drag car.
Right. They made a few factory drag car race Hemi in '64, and they also made very few steel nose cars.
Yeah, now because most of the drag cars were an aluminum front end and.
Right. Lightweight front end, doors, lightweight glass, but very few, like I said, steel nose cars.
And this is actually a steel nose car, so the fact that it's a replica of that is even rarer.
Yes, it
Now,
is.
It's an absolutely beautiful car, straight as an arrow.
Straight as an arrow. The body work is impeccable. John Balo from Muscle Car Restoration started with a beautiful rust-free body.
He does nice work.
He performed miracles on this car.
Well, so did you do it all? I mean, did you even put the battery in the trunk like the race?
Yep, the race Hemis came with batteries in the trunk.
And that was for, kind of weight transfer advantages?
Weight transfers.
And is that a correct setup?
We went with a max wedge setup with the vent tubes and a little smaller battery, just out of personal preference.
So, but it is period correct,
No
right?
question about it.
Yeah. Now this, the Belvedere was a higher trim level car.
It was one step up from the Savoy.
So you had the trunk chrome and...
Little stainless on the trunk, on the body side moldings and around the windows.
Uh-huh. Now the interior in this is beautiful, and it's nicer than I would expected a factory drag car to be.
Well, we modeled it after the steel nose cars with the bench seat.
Uh-huh.
The interior is correct. The gold piping is correct. It's correct, the interior.
Now the lightweights would have had more.
Bucket seats,
Bucket
a little
seats.
more minimal
Yeah.
trim on the inside.
Well, you've got the radio delete and I guess heater delete.
Heater
panels.
delete, radio delete.
And then the wonderful era of push-button transmission.
Push button. In order to go through the gears, you got to punch every gear individually.
Now they shifted it around from the standard push button.
This is a reverse manual valve body where you started from the first up top, worked your way down,
boom, boom, boom,
and kept away from neutral and reverse as you went down the tree.
and that's wise, I think.
That's the best way to do it.
But now, of course, what makes this the monster that it is the 426 Hemi.
Race Hemi.
Yes.
Race Hemi.
Well, open
The
this baby up.
ultimate street machine.
It is. And I tell you, oh man, that is the biggest chunk of metal you'll ever see under a hood.
It fills up the engine compartment, the elephant motor.
The elephant motor, indeed. Now, is this is that a vintage block and everything, or?
The block is a made-up block. It's a new Mopar performance block, 69 Hemi heads. The manifold is a correct period cross-ram manifold.
That was hard to find.
That certainly was.
Now those are Holley carbs. I thought they came out originally with Carter AFBs.
Right. The mid-year Race Hemi in '64 came out with AFBs, and the subsequent years, all the Race Hemis came with Holleys.
Wow.
Again, we did it for preference.
Now you drove this, or you built it to be streetable. Is it a still solid lifter?
No, we went with hydraulic
Uh-huh.
cams and a low compression, 9 1/4 to 1 compression.
Down from the 12 and a half.
Right,
original?
so we could use pump gas and it could make it a little more streetable.
Wow, so off of pump gas and the hydraulic cams, lower compression, how much compromise in?
None. There's no compromise. He's putting out over 519 horsepower.
Dynoed at that?
Dynoed.
Man, what kind of torque?
Over 540 pounds of torque.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you gotta love that. Absolutely. Must be a lot of fun.
It's a heck of a lot of fun. Draws a lot of attention.
I believe it does. Well, now you built it to be streetable, and you do drive it on the streets. What do you say we take it for a spin?
Let's let it go.
Oh yes.
Hold on, Dennis.
Hold on to your hat. Yeah, I'm back in time.
Oh, here we go.
Fired up. Oh yeah. I think I'll buckle my seatbelt.
You better buckle it, Dennis.
So, Steve, you always been a Mopar guy, or?
No, as a matter of fact, Dennis, I wasn't. Only the last 5 years did I find the light.
Caught the bug.
That's right. Before that, it was all Chevy.
Well, now these things also, I mean, they came with some sort of disclaimer too, right? I mean, you weren't even supposed to be running these things on the street, the original factory drag cars.
I have one of the original disclaimers in the glove box that basically informed you that there was no warranty with the car, no 12,000 mile warranty. Once you took possession of it, that was it. It was all over.
And it also pretty much stated that, they're only supposed to be in controlled acceleration.
Yeah, that's right. That's the joke. Only under supervised controlled acceleration trials.
Well, I know from my youth, that's the only time I ever saw them.
Exactly.
Running. Yeah,
I was very, very reliable and very conscientious when I was young.
They said you could basically, take delivery of this, uncork the headers, put a set of drag tires on it, and turn it.
And you'd be in the winner's circle.
Yeah, and just drive it to the winner's circle.
No
basically.
question about it. The Pontiacs and the General Motors cars and the Chevys and Fords, they just might as well stay home and leave the cars on the trailer.
Well, that was fun. Oh, I tell you. Cruising the back roads of Pennsylvania in a 426 Hemi.
Nothing but speed.
It don't get much better than this.
Thanks a lot,
man.
Dennis.
Thank you. If you take it out again, I'll buy the gas.
You better buy the gas.
All right, let's do it.